In the beginning of the drama, our handsome, rich male lead is introduced, but his name is a mystery for now. We then meet Yao, a struggling lawyer, enduring a meeting with a sleazy client and his boss who are more interested in her than her work. A handsome guy sits down next to her, and a lady offers him 10,000 yen per hour for his time. Yao and her friend think he's a call boy. The client tries to touch Yao, and she explodes, spitting her drink in his face and quitting her job. Later, Yao sees the call boy driving a Bentley. Shocked, she thinks he shouldn't be able to afford such a car from his work. After some time, Yao gets a job at a prestigious law firm and rents an apartment. The call boy is her neighbor. He even lives in this small building despite his wealth. They both arrive at their apartment at the same time and argue over who rented it first. They show each other their identical contracts, realizing they both rented on the same date. Desperate to get in, Yao claims her hair went in first and declares victory, but the call boy is already inside. They call the landlord, who reveals he's going through a divorce, and they both rented from different sides of the marriage. Yao tries to intimidate the call boy by mentioning her powerful boss, Qian Heng. The landlord tries to get them to share the apartment and asks Yao to represent him in his divorce. The call boy realizes Yao is struggling and offers to pay her 2 months' rent for a 3-day stay, after which they will see what happens. Yao accepts, then gives him a list of house rules, wondering why someone so rich would live in a shared apartment. She warns him about his profession, pointing out the legal and personal consequences of his actions. He threatens to sue her for defamation. Later, she finds his apartment decorated in a way that suggests a ghost lives there. She hears him giving legal advice on a video call and is stunned by his knowledge. He catches her eavesdropping and asks, "You were listening to me?" Yao lectures Chao, the handsome call boy, to get a real job and earn a living with respect. He leaves for the bathroom and Yao disinfects it, annoying him. He demands she scrub every corner. Later, a call from Wu Jun reveals Qianl's real identity. He is the co-founder of Jun Heng Law Firm, the same firm Yao just started working at. He also suffers from insomnia, hence the numerous gifts in his house, all intended to help him sleep. Yao is singing while cleaning lulls Qian to sleep. He wakes up happy, but his mood sours when he sees the partitions Yao set up. Yao starts her new job and is horrified to learn her boss, Qian Heng, is notorious for firing assistants. She's shown his office, full of threatening gifts sent by angry clients, a rubber snake, a knife, even a skull. Qian enters, and Yao is mortified to realize he says the same call boy she just lectured. He asks how she got that image of him, and she explains she overheard him discussing payments with a lady. He reveals it was his mother. Yao tells Ting the whole story and is frightened by strange noises coming from Qiao's room, which is decorated like a haunted house. When a stool breaks, hearing the noise, Qian comes there. She tries to stop him outside by making excuses, but he leaves for his room and screams. She finds herself kicked out of the apartment, her suitcase in hand. Qian runs out and, instead of stopping her, offers to order her a taxi. She takes it, first to a hotel, then to her office, deciding to save money by sleeping there. As she stands outside Qianl's office, she wonders who would dare come in. Yao finds herself a place to sleep. Her boss Qianl's storage room full of records. She wonders who would ever need to be here. She gets comfortable using camping gear and files as a pillow and falls fast asleep. Meanwhile, Qian is tossing and turning, unable to sleep. When the clock strikes midnight, the cuckoo clock startles him awake. He is furious, blaming Yao for disturbing his sleep. Yao is having a nightmare. She dreams of a killer in the office, about to attack her. She thinks these kinds of dreams are inevitable, sleeping surrounded by so many threatening things. She gets up for water and finds Qian in the office, working late. He is suspicious about the lights being on, but finds no one there. He settles back into his work, while Yao goes back to sleep. The next day, Qian visits a psychiatrist, recommended by someone in Wu Jun, but the psychiatrist seems to need more help than Qian. He tells Qian he needs to relax, stop stressing about work, and that his never-ending race is causing his sleep problems. Qian didn't want to be there in the first place and ends up arguing with the psychiatrist. He is worried about how his clients and colleagues will perceive him, afraid they'll think he has mental issues. Back at the office, Yao struggles with work, still exhausted from a sleepless night. Then Qian arrives there. Yao is trying to conceal her dark circles, and her colleague taunts her about aging quickly. She is not the only one who's sleep-deprived when they work with her. When she leaves the washroom, Qian notices her makeup. He later heads to a meeting where Yao fails to contribute to a discussion of a divorce case having been explained by the other lawyers. Qian criticizes her for focusing on her appearance, saying she should study instead, and threatens to fire her if she doesn't improve. While Yao is asleep, she is woken up by noises. It's 5 a.m., so she quickly gathers herself and heads to work, but is surprised to find Qian already there making coffee. He is surprised by her early arrival, and she claims it's because the early bird catches the worm. She assures him she will work hard and secure her place in the office. Qian comments on her dark circles, then hides his own with sunglasses. He saw her coming out of the record room, but she claims she was studying. Finally, everyone arrives at the office, including Wu Jun, back from vacation. He is a big boss like Qian, but a lot more friendly. He notices Yao, welcomes her, and wishes her good luck. He goes to Qian's office and tells him to seek help for his insomnia. Qian is skeptical, but Wu Jun insists on treatment and questions why he keeps covering his dark circles. Then Qian asks Wu Jun why he hired Yao, claiming he knows she's just there because she has the same last name as his university crush. He speculates that maybe she is her sister. Yao waits for Qian to leave so she can sleep, but he is working overtime. Qian notices her and then quietly leaves, gathering his things. As soon as he is gone, Yao sets up her bed and falls asleep within 5 minutes. Qian returns, suspicious, and goes to the storage room where he finds Yao sleeping soundly. He wakes her up and she pleads for mercy, asking to stay for 2 days and promising to find a place to rent. She can't afford a hotel. She also praises his dedication, admiring his work ethic, and wondering how he can work so much without sleep. Qian, desperate for sleep, agrees and leaves, but he goes back, feeling sorry for her, and lets her use his bathroom for half an hour. He takes her home, which is just as she left it. She freshens up and thanks him for letting her use the bathroom. She notices he doesn't seem to cook, but assumes he has good cooking skills. She decides to cook him something, making a bit of noise in the process. She starts singing, and her singing is like a lullaby for Qian, putting him to sleep instantly. He wakes up to find morning has arrived, astonished that he was able to sleep. Qian finally falls asleep after listening to the sounds of Yao's cooking and singing. Next morning, he sees that Yao has fallen asleep on his sofa, out of exhaustion. She wakes up and says sorry to him and tells him that she was about to leave from here, but she fell asleep because of the sound of rain and wind. Qian is surprised. That can someone fall asleep even with the drops of rain? Next morning when she reaches office, she gets a case file. She works very hard on it, due to which 3 of her colleagues added her in their group. The next day, Qian was not able to sleep, so he plays the sound of rain, also knocks the utensils in the house, but he is unable to sleep. Then he hires a housekeeper and asks her to do the kitchen work loudly so that he can fall asleep. But even then he is unable to sleep. The housekeeper gets irritated and leaves the job. Qian also gets upset and goes to the office and sees Yao there. She was making noodles for herself and started singing a song. He immediately fell asleep. Wu Jun tells everyone that he is going to throw a welcome party for the new employees, and everyone can bring their family members along. Then he goes to Yao and asks her to invite her sister too. In the next scene, Qian tells Wu Jun that he feels sleepy because of Yao. He decides to hire her at his home. Then he messages Yao, but at that time she had gone to a restaurant for lunch. He also goes to this restaurant and asks her to become his personal assistant, and calls her back to his house. In the next scene, Yao goes to the welcome party, where Wu Jun uses some tricks to get her sister's number. Then he sends a friend request to her sister Chang Shi, which she accepts immediately. On the other hand, it was time to sleep for Qian, so he calls her and asks her to come back on the pretext of the kitchen pipe being blocked, but she cuts the call. Then he goes to the party and starts playing games with those people. Yao drinks too much in that game. Now he drags her to his car. Further ahead, Qian stops the car and tells her not to vomit inside, but she vomits directly on his clothes and dirty his car. So now Qian gets so angry after seeing his favorite car so dirty, he pulls Yao and throws her inside a box, and then starts making a video of her because he wanted to make an oral contract with her. He tells her that you have made my car dirty, and in return, you will be my life assistant, but Yao does not answer. In the next scene, he brings the box home. Yao comes out of the box and falls on Qian and starts molesting his face. Qian angrily tells her that he will deduct her salary. Next morning, when he wakes up, he tells Yao that last night she made fun of him. You also said that I have got plastic surgery done, so you will have to compensate for this. Saying this, he shows her a list of bill and also shows the video which he had made to blackmail her. Seeing this, Yao gets very upset, but then he tells his second plan that if she don't want to pay compensation, then in return, she will have to be his life assistant. Now Yao accepts his contract. Then Yao shifts to his house. Now at night, he asks her to cook food so that he can sleep, but she orders food. Qianl's mood gets spoiled and he says, "Wrap up all this and start cooking for me." But this time when she was cooking, she could not sleep again because she did not sing a song today. Now she cooks and prepares the food and keeps it. But boss, he himself was surprised and worried that why he could not sleep today due to the noise of her cooking. While outside, Yao was angry because she cooked food for him, but he went to sleep without eating it. The next day in the evening, at the time of leaving, Yao sees that two men were trying to take Qian away. She thinks they are kidnapping him. She runs and sprays pepper spray on them. But then Qian tells her that these two are his mother's bodyguards who have come to take him home. Qian goes to her family house where her mother was pretending to be sick because she wanted to spend more time with her son. So she starts overacting, but Qian knew that she was pretending, so he leaves from there. Now, on the other hand, Wu Jun was remembering his college days, how he fell in love with Chang Shi. He fell unconscious while jogging behind her, so she took him to the hospital. She also gave him a chocolate. This chocolate brand is still Wu Jun's favorite. Now, as soon as Qian returns home, he sees that Yao has already prepared dinner. He gets angry and says that she has to cook the food when he orders. Otherwise, he will throw her out of the house. On the other hand, Wu Jun went to dinner with Chang Shi. He offers her that she should also join his law firm, but Chang Shi refuses his offer. After this, Wu Jun drinks too much. When Chang Shi goes to drop her home, Wu Jun in a drunken state tells her everything in his heart and tells her that she does not need to be afraid of her ex-husband. He can take revenge on him now. Then he kisses her and falls unconscious. When he wakes up the next morning, he does not remember anything about what happened last night. Then he sees Chang Shi's hair on the bed, and he feels that he has been intimate with Chang Shi, in return for which she has given him money. Next morning, Wu Jun was sitting in the office hiding his face, and he tells Qian that yesterday he spent the night with one of his clients, but he doesn't remember anything, and there were 500 yuan on his side table. Hearing this, Qian says that actually you sold your body for 500 yuan. Hearing this, Jun starts blackmailing him that he will tell everyone about his insomnia. So Qian says that I will put it on my status right now that you sold your body for 500 rupees. Then both of them start snatching each other's phone. Yao gets very happy to see that her grumpy boss can also have a friend. At home, Qian was sitting in the washroom for a long time. Yao was noticing him from outside and thought that he has a problem of constipation, but Qian was sitting in the washroom because Wu Jun had told him that he falls asleep while sitting in the washroom. But after a long time, Qian understands that all this was done by Wu Jun to tease him. Now after 40 minutes when he finally comes out. After spending some time in his room, he actually goes to the washroom to use it and sees that there were comfort seats kept there. He comes out and Yao tells him that she has installed a seat cover for him, and she also gives him medicine for constipation, but Qian scolds her and tells her not to interfere in his personal life. After this, Yao sits all night and starts studying the case. She was actually keeping an eye on Qian because she wanted to know Qianl's dark secret. Qian gets up at midnight and goes out of the room. Yao starts following him. Qian knew that she is following him, so he deliberately starts jogging. Yao gets very tired running behind him. Qian goes there and scolds him and asks him to go home. He also gives her her first case, which makes Yao very happy. Next day, both of them were waiting for their client when a client comes there who was a very big celebrity, whose dramas Yao used to watch on TV in her house. She had a divorce case. She tells them that her husband has misused her to increase his business, and now she wanted that all his hidden property should be taken out and she should get an equal share in the property. In the next scene, Qian goes to his room and starts doing his work, while outside Yao starts cooking and humming a song, hearing which he starts feeling sleepy. He goes out and stops her from cooking and singing because he still has to do his work, so he asks her to continue cooking after half an hour. After finishing his work, he asks Yao to cook food and hum a song for him. As soon as she sings, he falls asleep. He wakes up in the middle of the night because of hunger. He takes out the food from the fridge and starts eating it. After eating, when he was going to his room, he sees that Yao has fallen asleep while working on her case. He wakes her up and tells her that she can ask him her stupid questions about the case. She immediately brings her notebook and notes down a lot of things. The next day, the celebrity comes to his office for consultation. Qian advises her to wait for a few months and then file for divorce, because her husband was going through a critical moment regarding his business. If his business suffers a loss, then half of the money that she will get from her property will also be lost. Hearing this, the celebrity becomes very sad. After Qian leaves, Miss Bai tells Yao her life secrets, that how, when she found her husband, they both fell in love very quickly. For his sake, Bai married him very quickly without caring about her career, but later she comes to know that her husband married her to expand his business because he wanted to use her fame. After hearing this, Yao becomes very sad. After coming home, Qian tells Yao that from now on, she will have to cook food for him daily and also hum a song for him. In return, he will give her a chance to ask 2 stupid questions about this case. But when she asks her questions, she gets a shut up as the answer. In the next scene, both Yao and Qian were having dinner together, and she told him that she had developed an emotional attachment with her client Bai. But he tells her that she should not interfere in the life of his client because this is very unprofessional. He was treating all this very rudely, due to which Yao leaves the place in sadness. On the other side, Wu Jun comes to know that Cheng Shi and Yao's sister are going to an amusement park tomorrow. He wanted to go to the park with Cheng Shi instead of Yao. He immediately goes to meet Qian and tells him that there is a meeting of the Lawyers Association tomorrow. I think you should go to this event. Qian did not want to go, but on Wu Jun's request, he agrees. But Wu Jun tells him that both lawyers, one female and one male, will have to go there, so take Yao along as well. Now when Yao comes home, Qian tells her that there is an event of the Lawyers Association today, and we have to go there at 9. Then she cancels the appointment with her sister, which makes Chang Shi a little sad, who was waiting for her outside the amusement park. But then Wu Jun arrives there to spend time with her. On the other hand, when Qian and Yao go to the party, Qian gets very angry to see that it was not a professional event, but a matchmaking event for single lawyers. On seeing this, he calls Wu Jun to scold him, but he immediately disconnects the call. Then the matchmaking starts. Now many girls come to talk to him one by one, but Qian criticizes their looks, due to which he became very unpopular in the party. In the next scene, they had to have a rowing competition, but another boy wanted to team up with Yao as well, but immediately Qian asks her to team up with him. Then in the next scene, we see that Yao is paddling while Qian is sitting comfortably. Yao tells him that he should also put in some effort, but Qian says that even if he loses in such useless competitions, it won't matter to him. But suddenly, the paddle slips from her hand. Now she moves forward to pick it up. Qian feels that she will fall. While saving her, he himself falls into the water. Then she jumps into the water to save him. Now both are sitting on a side bench drenched in water. Qian asks her to book a hotel. Yao feels that he wants to take advantage of her, so she starts covering herself. But then Qian tells that he was only talking about changing her clothes. On the other side, we see Wu Jun, who wanted to talk to Chang Shi about the night when they spent the night together, but he gets a call from Qian, who was ordering male and female clothes for him. He is shocked to hear this and wonders why he is ordering girls' clothes. On the other hand, Yao comes out after taking a shower. After this, Qian is going to take a bath. Yao starts teasing him that how he is feeling shy. She never expected that he would be so shy. Then Wu Jun comes there. Qian catches Yao and locks him in the washroom, while Wu Jun starts shouting at Qian as soon as he comes inside because he felt that he took advantage of Yao's innocence. Then Yao also comes out. Qian says that his test is not that bad, that he would like Yao. Due to this, both of them have a fight. Then Wu Jun calms them down, and he comes to know that they both get wet into the water too. After this, he leaves from there. In the next scene, both of them are sitting at home. Then a girl's voice starts coming from outside the house, who is repeatedly calling Qian. Hearing the girl's voice, Qian refuses to let Yao open the door, but Yao does not listen to him and opens the door. Then Qian sends a message to the girl that she should not disturb his girlfriend because they both are in a live-in relationship. Yao tries to explain to the girl that they both are not in a relationship. They are just housemates. But the girl does not listen to him and says that she will not let Qian go from her hands and then leaves from there. After she leaves, Yao asks him why he sent a false message to the girl that I am your girlfriend. So Qian tells that the girl is the daughter of one of his clients, who had once proposed to him but he rejected her. Now she is after him. Now one day Yao was checking some documents, so she finds out that there is a file of a psychiatrist inside. Now she calls him to check about this. Then she finds out that actually Qian was getting his insomnia treated by the same psychiatrist. Then comes there and asks her to cook food for him. She understands that he falls asleep because of her cooking and singing. Then she takes food and goes to his room and sees that he is asleep. In the next day, celebrity Bai Ella's husband comes to meet Qian, whose name is Mr. Shu. He came there with his lawyer, and he talks to Qian about settling with his wife. He says that he is ready to give the entire alimony to his wife, just that this thing should not reach the news and the court. Saying this, he shows him his settlement ladder, but Qian refuses to accept it. Qian notices that Yao was smiling at the other lawyer. Then after they leave, he asks Yao why she was flirting with that lawyer. Yao tells him that he was her senior in college. Hearing this, Qian feels a little awkward that why he has started interfering in her personal life. In the next scene, Changshi asks Yao to keep her dog with her because she had an emergency. Yao hides it and takes it to her room because she knew that her boss does not like pets. When Qian comes back home, he smells the puppy, but Yao tells him that it is coming from the toy on his bag. Qian warns her that she should not even think of bringing a puppy here. After this, the puppy starts making noise which Qian hears. Yao says that she is making dog's noise herself, but Qian starts knocking on her door. As soon as the door opens, the puppy comes to his feet and starts loving him, which scares Qian a lot, and he asks Yao to leave the house with her puppy. But then Yao says that if she leaves from here, then who will treat his insomnia? He gets shocked that how did she know that he has insomnia? Then he gives permission to Yao and puppy to stay in the house. In the next scene, celebrity Bai comes to meet Yao, and while making her emotional, tells her that her husband is writing threatening letters to her, so Yao should call him in front of her and explain to him that he should stop threatening her. Then Yao calls her husband and tells him not to threaten her client. Then her husband says that he did not threaten his wife. Rather, he wants this matter to be solved peacefully, but Yao asks him to meet him in the court. After that, Bai Ella's husband, Mr. Shu, comes to meet Yao, and he wanted to tell her some things, but Yao ignores him and walks away. The next scene, she comes to know that Mr. Shu has committed suicide by jumping from a building, and he had written in the suicide note that his wife's lawyer, Yao, is not letting the confusion between them go away. Now again, the next morning, she comes to know that Miss Bai has hired a new lawyer, and she was holding a press conference with him, in which she says that she could have reconciled with her husband, but her previous lawyer Yao was so selfish that he created walls between them. Yao gets shocked to hear her words and decides to handle this problem alone. She immediately goes to Miss Bai and tries to talk with her, but her lawyer arrives there, and he starts blaming her for Mr. Shu's suicide. Then Qian arrives there, who protects Yao, and then takes her with him by holding her hand. At home, Yao had cooked seafood for Qian. Qian was happy to see this, but Yao was in a lot of depression because people were trolling her on social media. She also gets a threatening call, but then Qian snatches the phone from her hand and takes her for a drink to get rid of her depression. Now after that, we are shown that Qian had called someone to meet her, and that person was Mr. Shu's ex-lawyer Lu. He tells everything that his client Mr. Shu was a victim himself. He was falsely accused of domestic violence by his wife, due to which he was in depression. Miss Bai trapped him for his business, but after marriage, when she came to know that his business was not so successful, then she decided that she will defame Shu. Hearing this, Yao understood that Mr. Shu did not commit suicide because of Yao. Now in the end, Qian asks her to drive to distract her, but this was her first time driving such an expensive car. Here some people on bikes, some on bicycles. Even pedestrians overtake her, which makes Qian angry. The next day, when Qian comes back home from office, he sees that Yao was sleeping on the sofa, but today she would wake up at the slightest sound out of fear, thinking that someone might have come to kill her. She did not even go to buy groceries today. So Qian takes her with him to the supermarket, but he bumps into a fat auntie. He was about to fight with her when Yao stops him. Now here some girls, seeing them together, start gossiping that this boy looks very handsome and rich too, but this girl has absolutely ordinary looks. Qian also heard these things, and after this, he starts caring for Yao a little more. After reaching home, he tells her that if she wants to cry, she can cry because she does not look beautiful at all while hiding her tears. Then he gives her his handkerchief. Yao wipes her tears and knows with it, but then Qian tells her that this handkerchief is worth $8,000. Hearing this, Yao starts crying even more. The next day when Yao goes to office, she finds out that all the people who were trolling her on social media are now apologizing to her because Qian solved this matter. Then Qian gives her a lot of paper to shred to distract her. After that, when she reaches home, she finds out that the whole house is messed up, which was done by Qian, but he puts the blame on the dog. Actually, he wanted to keep Yao busy so that she doesn't get time to cry. When Yao goes back home, she sees that the house is dirty again today. Qian again blames Puppy, but this time she gets suspicious because there are banana peels scattered on the floor, which Puppy must not have eaten. Then she starts scolding Puppy, but indirectly she is talking about Qian, that since when did he become so naughty? It seems that someone is trying to trap him. In the next scene, Qian asks Yao to go for exercise to get her out of depression, but Yao gets tired in a short while. Qian starts scolding her that neither her IQ is good nor her physical strength. Then a foundation show starts there. Qian was looking at Yao very closely for the first time, and he finds her eyes very beautiful, but he tells her that your eyes resemble your dog's, due to which Yao gets angry and leaves. Changshu went to meet Ming's mother today, and there they start acting as if they are still a couple. Actually, they did not want to trouble Mom before the surgery, but after going outside, she scolds Ming a lot and reminds him of his place. Ming still wanted to bring Changshu back into his life, but Changshu had no intention of giving him a second chance. In the next scene, Qian went to meet the same girl who was pursuing him. Her name is Dong. She wanted to give divorce case of her mom and dad to Qian, but at the same time she was also flirting with him. Qian tells her that he is not interested in her at all. Then he takes her case, but gives this case to Yao to handle. Now Yao meets Dong Ela's father, Mr. Chan, and asks him the reason for divorce. He tells that he has cancer, and he does not want his wife to become a widow. That's why he wants to divorce her. But Yao does not believe him and starts following him, where she comes to know that his mistress is pregnant. Then Mr. Chan tells her that he wants to divorce his wife because his mistress is pregnant and she is going to have a son who will become the heir of their family in future. In the next scene, when Qian goes back to his house, a guard tells him that the problem of theft has increased a lot in this locality, so he should protect his house. Then Qian goes to his apartment and sees that neither Yao nor his puppy was there. But when they do not return for a long time, he starts worrying about Yao, and he goes to find Yao with some guards. Now we see Yao, who had brought her puppy for a walk. Then the puppy slips from her hand and it attacks Qian and starts licking his face. Qian gets very angry. In the next scene, Qian is sitting at home in anger, and Yao is cleaning his face. She apologizes that her puppy is very innocent. He was just loving him. But instead of getting angry, Qian forgives her. The next day when they come to the office, they get the bad news that Dong Ela's dad, Mr. Chan, has died. After this, both of them go to his funeral, where Dong Ela's mom tells him that she does not want anyone to know that she and Mr. Chan were going to get divorced because she does not want to spoil his reputation, and it can also have a big effect on the business. On the way back from there, Qian tells Yao that Dong Ela's mom got her husband's funeral done so quickly because she knew that her stepson is going to be born and she does not want to share half of her property with him, so she will not let it be proved that the child is the legal son of her husband. When the next scene, the puppy is playing on Qian's sofa. Qian gets very irritated by it, but after a while, when he looks at its eyes carefully, he feels as if it is looking into Yao's eyes. Then when Yao returns, she sees that Qian had put a blindfold on her puppy's eyes so that it doesn't bother him. After this, Yao asks him what he would like to have for dinner today, but Qian says that we will go out for dinner today and this treat will be from Yao's side. Then he takes her to his favorite restaurant, which was very expensive. Yao asks him to go to some other restaurant, but Qian orders his favorite food. In the next scene, Qian messages Yao telling her that he has sent her the money for the dinner and that he does not like receiving treats from girls because then they try to get close to him. Yao is shocked to hear this. Next day, Yao buys ice cream for herself and Qian. She tastes one of the ice creams and keeps it aside and tells Qian that she has brought ice cream for him as well. Qian refuses at first, but then picks up the ice cream and starts eating it. Yao sees that he has eaten the ice cream which she had kept aside after testing, but she doesn't tell anything about this to Qian and quietly goes out from there and starts thinking that indirectly they have kissed. In the next scene, Yao had brought her dog out for a walk, but then a man comes there with his female dog. Yao's dog starts kissing her. Seeing this, the dog's owner starts blackmailing Yao that her dog has harassed his female dog, so she will have to pay compensation. Then Qian goes there and transfers the money to him, but then tells him that he is a lawyer and he has made a video of him when he was blackmailing Yao. After hearing this, the man returns his money and leaves from there. Then Yao asks Qian why he came here. Qian tells that he came to remind her that she forgot to throw the trash, but Yao suspected that he has come here following her. She tells this to her friend Ting. Then Ting says that he is interested in you. Hearing this, Yao becomes very happy. Now next day, they see that a girl had come to their firm who wanted to meet Qian. Here, one of Yao's colleagues, Bao, starts saying, "This girl must be having an affair with our boss, and she is also pregnant." Then he goes to the girl and tells her that he is Qian's lawyer, but then Qian goes there and takes the girl with him. This girl is Mr. Chan's mistress, Shena, who had come to get her son the right to his property. And for this, she asks Qian to become her lawyer. But Yao did not like her at all, because she was a mistress who ruined Mr. Chan's family, and now wants to claim her right on his property. Knowing this, Qian gets very angry at Yao and scolds her, saying that she shouldn't bring emotions into the matter. That child hasn't even come into this world yet. It's not his fault, hence he has a right on his father's property, but Yao refuses to handle the case. Then Qian angrily tells her that if he had known that she is so unprofessional, he would never have given her a job in this company. But on Wu Jun's insistence, he gave Yao a job in the company because Wu Jun has a crush on her sister. After hearing this, Yao becomes very sad. After this, Yao is going home after office, but then she turns back and takes a room in a hotel and starts crying a lot there. On the other hand, Qian was regretting that he got too angry at Yao. Then he also calls and messages her, but he does not get any reply from Yao. The next day, Qian tells all this to Wu Jun that he scolded Yao a lot, and he also said that he got the job here because of her sister's connection. Hearing this, Wu Jun gets very angry at him, because due to this, Changshi will also gets angry with Wu Jun. Then he calls Changshi and tells her all this and asks her to convince Yao. After this, Changshi goes to meet Yao at the hotel and tells her that she got the job because of her abilities and not because of any connections. She deserves the job. Hearing this, Yao gains confidence and decides that she will go back to the office and show everyone her abilities. Just then, Changshi gets a call from Wu Jun, but she ignores him. Seeing this, Wu Jun gets angry at Qian that because of him, Changshi is not picking up his calls anymore. Qian keeps listening to everything silently. Now, Yao is back in the office and they are all having a meeting. They are looking for a way to prove that the baby in Shen's womb is Mr. Chan's. Then Yao tells them that she thinks the baby's DNA matches with Dong because she is his stepsister. But Qian says that Mr. Chen's dad is still alive. We should do a DNA test with his grandfather instead of doing a DNA test with Dong. Qian got this idea because of Yao, so he praises her a lot. All the employees are very shocked to see the boss praising someone for the first time. After the meeting, Yao are working at her seat and they both start looking at each other secretly. At the time of leaving, Qian comes to her and asks if she will come home today, but Yao was still very hurt, so she refuses to come home. After this, Qian is at the apartment and he messages Yao saying that he has kept some documents ready for this case, so come and take them. After this, Yao goes home and takes the documents, but then she finds a note from Qian in which it was written that he is going back to his villa so she can stay in this house. Qian was sitting in his car and watching from outside when the lights of Yao's room go off, and then he leaves from there. The next day, Yao goes to meet Dong Ella's grandfather with one of her colleagues to convince him for a DNA test. Qian had come there secretly. After this, when they start convincing the grandfather, he agrees very easily because he also wanted a grandson to take care of his property. The next day, the result of the DNA test comes, which is positive, which proves that the child in Miss Shen's womb is Mr. Chan's. But everyone is shocked to see that Miss Shen's boyfriend had come to pick her up. After this, the court scene is shown where the same case was being proceeded. Miss Shen wins the case, and then she asks Qian to have dinner with her, but he refuses. After the court, we see Dong getting angry with her grandfather and tells him that she loved him so much, but why he wants a grandson. Why did he agree to get a DNA test done? Then the grandfather starts hitting her with a stick, but Yao comes in between and her hand gets hurt. After this, Qian puts a bandage on Yao, but Yao was feeling a little shy, so he immediately tells her that when she got injured, she was at work, so he is helping her. Now at night, Qian was sitting in his villa, but he was not able to sleep. On the other hand, Yao was enjoying watching a late-night TV show. Then there is a knock on the door of her house. It was dark, and he was also wearing sunglasses. Yao thought that there is a thief, but after hearing Qian's voice, she realizes that it is the boss. Then Qian tells him that he had left a pen here. He has come to take it. After this, he goes to the room and starts looking for the pen, but actually he had come here to hear Yao's song. After a while, he comes out and tells Yao that it is quite late now, so it would not be right for him to go out from here at this time. But Yao had already ordered a taxi for him, so he gets sad and leaves from there. The next day, he reaches office wearing sunglasses, and after the meeting is over, everyone starts leaving. Qian thought that all the people have left, so he takes off his sunglasses, but Yao turns back to ask something at the same time, and she finds out the secret that he was trying to hide his dark circles behind the sunglasses. Yao understands that he came to her house last night because he was not able to sleep. Then she was about to ask him to come back home when his colleague comes there and takes her with him to party. In the next scene, Yao gets a call from her mother, who tells her that she is coming to her city next week and her mom and dad will stay at her house for a few days. Hearing this, Yao becomes happy and thinks that it is good that Boss moved out from there earlier. While Yao is at home, she gets a call from Qian, who tells her that she has to go out of town with him tomorrow for a case, so she should pack her bags. Yao agrees to him and invites him for dinner. After this, both of them sit together and start having dinner. Yao intentionally plays a horror movie in front of Qian so that he gets scared and she can make fun of him, but she herself starts getting scared. After this, Qian tells him that he will stay here tonight because the airport is closer than here. Then Yao goes to her room to sleep, but she is very scared remembering this horror movie. Suddenly, strong winds start blowing there and the lights also go off. Then she runs to Qian's room and asks him to let her sleep in his room, but Qian feels that she wants to seduce him, and then he threatens to file a case of sexual harassment against her. Then Yao says that she just came to ask him some question. Qian agrees to answer her. After this, she starts asking her questions. Then her phone falls down. When Qian picks up her phone, he sees that Yao had saved his name with a pet nickname. Seeing this, Qian gets angry, and he asks her to get out of his room. Then Yao tells him that she had watched a horror movie, due to which she is feeling very scared, so he should let her sleep in his room. Qian agrees to this. Yao sleeps by putting a bed next to his bed, but after some time she starts feeling hungry, so both of them get up and start eating midnight noodles. Then Yao tells him that the boss of the previous law firm where she used to work used to force her to drink with the clients. Qian asks if she couldn't refuse him, then Yao tells him that she left that job because of this. Now they go to the room to sleep. Yao asks him some tips for the future so that she can become a successful lawyer like him. So Qian tells her not to get married or get into any love affair for 2 years. Hearing this, Yao says that even if she finds a boy as handsome as the boss, she will not give him any attention. Next morning, Qian was hiding in a corner while Yao was lying on the bed, and she kicked him and made him fall down. Qian gets very angry, and he tells her that last night she crawled on his bed and kicked him a lot, even snatched away the blanket from him. In the next scene, they both go to another city, and their client named Mr. Tang was waiting to welcome them there. He gets happy to see Qian along with his female assistant Yao. After this, they start having a meeting in the office, where a lot of time passes and Yao starts losing her appetite, and she keeps looking at Qian's face, who is very busy in the meeting. After a while, Qian tells her to go out and call her colleague to get some documents. His phone is kept in the bag. When she goes out, she gets a message from Qian that there is no need to call. He has kept chocolate in his bag. Take it out and eat it, because he knew that Yao are hungry. After this, the meeting starts again. Mr. Tang invites both of them for dinner. While leaving from there, Mr. Tang touches Yao inappropriately, which makes Yao feel very bad. Now Yao was working on some documents sitting in the hotel room. She messages Qian to ask about a file, but he does not reply. She thinks that maybe he has fainted due to hunger. Then she takes porridge for him. Qian had come out after taking a shower. Yao forcefully enters his room, seeing which he starts fixing his bathrobe. Yao felt that he is taking off his bathrobe, so she touches his chest to stop him. Qian gets very angry, and he asks her to leave from there, but then Yao asks him to drink porridge, which Qian doesn't like at all, and he says that he likes the porridge made by Yao. So Yao starts making porridge for him. Qian falls asleep while seeing her. Then Yao puts a blanket on him and starts leaving from there. But then Qian stops her and thanks her. The next day, both of them go to dinner with Mr. Tang. Mr. Tang asks Qian to drink, but he says that he does not drink. Then he offers a drink to Yao. Yao was about to drink with him, but then Qian stops her too. After coming out from there, he scolds Yao and asks why she agreed to drink. Can anyone force her to drink just because she is a girl? Then he warns her that if Mr. Tang calls her to meet him alone, then she should not go. Now, in the next scene, Yao gets a message from Mr. Tang's assistant, who was calling Yao to check some documents. Yao asks to bring Qian along, but the assistant says it's a small matter, she can come alone. Now, when she goes to check the documents, she sees that Mr. Tang is also there. He starts talking to her about the documents and then sends his assistant out of there. Then he asks Yao to find the switch and turn it on. But as soon as Yao was leaning there, he immediately starts misbehaving with her. Yao turns on the recording in her phone. Mr. Tang was trying to come close to her, then Yao slaps him. Then Mr. Tang says that the door is locked and the cameras are also off, now no one can save her. But Yao somehow escapes and runs away from there. After this, when she goes to her room, Qian, seeing her in such a condition, asks her what happened to her, but Yao does not tell him anything. Then Qian sees that video in her phone. Seeing this, he gets very angry and asks Yao to follow him. After this, he goes to Mr. Tang and fights with him. He also breaks his hands, the hands with which he had touched Yao. After this, he holds Yao's hand and takes her away from there. Yao felt like he is her hero at this time. Then he takes her to his room and scolds her and says that if anyone tries to touch her inappropriately again, then she should tell him he will defend her. He also tells her that if he had made a video of her and done something wrong, then she would not have been able to do anything. While leaving, Yao tells him that she thought that she was a tool for him to sleep, but is she really important to him? So Qian says that yes, she is important, then changing his words and says that she is an important employee. Then Yao leaves from there. Now the next day, both of them are having breakfast together in the hotel because their contract was canceled and their flight was the next day. So Yao asks him to go to the amusement park. Qian reluctantly says yes to her. After this, both of them reach the amusement park, where Yao wanted to win a toy by aiming with an air gun, but her aim was very bad, and she says that she wishes she also had a husband who would help her. Then Qian goes to her and helps her in aiming, and wins the toy for her. But he takes the toy from her hand and keeps it with himself. After this, both of them go to see the aquarium show where they both have an argument on something, and Qian punishes her that she will have to write an apology letter of 5,000 words. Back in her room, Yao begins writing an apology letter and falls asleep while writing it. Then Qian comes to her and covers her with a blanket and goes back and keeps looking at Yao. Then he also falls asleep. After this, Yao goes to him and looking at him, says that her boss is very handsome. After this, both of them return to their city, and this part ends here. To watch the next part, subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.